Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 41 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. Let's start with the usual progress report. As you can see, my network plus the corporation are now worth 72.5 billion ISK. Now if I go on where how it's separated, Tanak is worth 37.8, Erica is worth 3.4, my other alt is worth less than a billion. Guns R Us Toy Company is at 17.4 billion, and Guns R Us Holding, which is our structure holding corp, is now at 3.3 billion. Procurement division is getting close, so there's almost nothing left in there. If you want the distribution, this is what it looked like. So Tanak got a little money. Erica actually progressed a little bit too. Actually, Erica progressed more than Tanak, but I sent some money over because I was running Incursion this week with Erica. So most of my game time was actually like a good chunk of my game time this week was running Incursion with Erica. The reason I run them with Erica is spec sniper. Tanak is DPS, so close range DPS. So they both fly different ship, and when Udama, not Udama, Niarja got turned into a nullsec system, I was lucky enough to have one incursion ship on each side. So depending on where the incursion fleet is, I will either run it with Tanak or Erica. So this week was Erica's job of running incursion. Aside from that, you can see that Toy Company dropped a little bit, but procurement holding, sorry, not procurement, Guns R Us holding raised significantly. The reason is that we anchored our Raitaru, so we now have one Athenor and one Raitaru anchor in Beke. So am I in Beke? No, let's go to Beke. So we'll show you. I won't do a station video for once. And I'll go in pod because I don't want to get shot. Anyway, so we did anchor in our Raitaru. We did like an operation where we monitored. We've been in Beke for a while, so we know when the system is not too busy. We did an operation we did anchor at a time where it was less busy to make sure that we had less chance of having to fight to protect it, and nobody showed up to keep us from anchoring, so we managed to put the module online. So now it's at full power with all the setup with the missile neuter and points and everything, so that we can fight back if somebody tried to attack us. So with that Raitaru in place, we also turn another module on in our Athenor, so we now have reaction running too. So we have composite reaction. We're able to turn Moongu into more advanced material, more composite material for T2 production, which is actually pretty good, because now we're at a point where we can start building like producing stuff like we were in Ivangier. So we got access to reaction. We can start running T2. We can start running industrial capital. So we're getting up to speed again, and we're able to run our operation like we want to, and start to get into the fun industrial stuff, which is the reason this corp was created, is to give people access to more advanced industry than what you can get in ISEC, and that's exactly what we're giving them. So this is Toy Factory, which is our Raitaru, and right next to it we got the Deep Drilling House of Fun, which is our Athenor. As you can see, it's pulling a little moon chunk here. And this one has reaction as the service is in. We don't have open access on our station. We're keeping it because we don't want to encourage people to be in system. We don't want to encourage traffic in the system, but I do open it to access when people, like when I discuss with people and when we're trading mutual blue. Okay, what else? HR wise, we're now at 95 member, and as you can see here, there's like people that are logging. We got like maybe, okay, these one I need to clear. I just removed a role so I can clear them. Maybe like on the 95 we maybe have 20 that didn't log in recently. So it is a healthy corp with people that are logged in and people that are online. I would say we're about maybe like here it's getting like later NA time. We hover around 10 people maybe anytime. Euro time we're stronger with maybe 25 people, 25 people online. The Discord is pretty active, so all in all, I mean, we're back to a good cruising speed, and the corp is growing, and we're getting we're making up for what was lost in the previous month. What else can I tell you? Okay, so now that Raitaru has been anchored, we will not be anchoring more structure in the future. Well, and at least in the close future, we pretty much got the setup we want. We want to keep our structure footprint lower than what we had when we were in Avenger and Charm Route. So we do have a network of blue that we've built over time. I have it here. So let me just pull that up here. So we do have a network of blue station all around here and all around here. So these are people that I've talked to that were trading blue for blue, and they have Athenor. So we got like 1, 2, 3, at least like 7 or 8 systems in the surrounding area where we have an Athenor for compression, which allow us to basically mine everywhere and be able to operate. So we can mine locally, compress in an Athenor, bring the ore back to Becquet to refine at low sec yield, and then move the mineral back to our Raitaru and produce there. So it's a pretty good setup that we're having here, and I really like the way where Becquet is, because it's a central location. So it's kind of allow us to access to everywhere in the surrounding area. The one thing that is lacking in Becquet, however, is that compared to Avenger, there's no factory in the NPC station. So we do have an NPC station for asset safety, but we don't have a factory. So building combat capital will not be possible in that system, which means that we would have to take the component part that we build and bring them over like to Chamja or something. I mean, it would be complicated. So we don't have like combat capital capacity in the short term. Our goal is still down the line to upgrade to an Asbel and a Tatara. However, especially now with the Quantum Core, I'm not anchoring an Asbel and a Tatara until I can reliably field 25 people in the battleship at least to be able to defend those structure. Because if you're anchoring an Asbel or a Tatara, you're basically anchoring a 3.5 bill loot pinata. So you're inviting people to come and grab your stuff. As in a small structure like ours, I mean, yeah, obviously anything is a target, but it's not as juicy a target as a large structure if you're anchoring medium structure. And like I said, I think structure are safer in low than in high, because in low, whoever is attacking you has to expose themselves to 3-timer. Well, 2-timer actually. The first one, let's say, it'll take you by surprise on the first timer and attack you when you don't expect it. You don't have time to form up, so it will push it to armor. So then he has to commit to one specific timer for armor and another specific timer to finish the hull. So that's two places where he has to expose a fleet in low sec to be able to attack you. And that can turn badly against any attacker, because I mean, it's easier to get help in low than it is to get help in high, because in high the person has to join your war. In low, you can call. So all in all, I mean, obviously nothing's perfect, and you still you always have a situation that can surprise you. You can have people that bring more to a fight than you expect, but anyway, if you're afraid of losing your stuff, don't leave. because I mean, at some point, if you want to progress, especially if you want to progress in the industry chain, you either have to get access to somebody else's structure or to anchor down your own. So, and personally, I like to have my own little structure, because that's what I like to do in the game. So that's for the Raitaru. Aside from that, in our industrial operation, we did last Saturday had another mining fleet where we pull, like when we do our Saturday mining fleet, we were pulling around 500 million worth of compressed ore every time. So that's, and the way we're running stuff is I explained it before, but I'm just explaining it again if people don't remember. The way we're financing our corp and we're paying for our fuel and our structure upgrade is we run one fleet every Saturday where people mine, and all it's 100% tax for that operation. So all the ore goes to the corp and it's on a voluntary basis. So basically, people just come and mine for the corp, and that will pay for the fuel for the station. That will pay for the upgrade, like if we need to buy rigs or if we need to buy another station or financing. So it is basically padding the corp wallet with that. The rest of the time, we're running at a very low tax rate. So we're running at 1% tax rate. Free services at our station for our members. So they do that voluntary operation, and that's it. So we're not like a high tax corp, if you look at it that way. So that's why we're getting like a regular progress of maybe like 1.5 billion a week for the corp. So half of that is coming maybe from the mining fleet, and the rest is like corporate tax and corporate buyback program. So we do have a buyback program where basically we're buying at 90% GDA. So the corp is buying locally at our station at 90% GDA buy. So member that don't want to go to GDA because either they don't have the time or they don't want to risk it, they can sell to the corp. The corp will buy it, and the corp will refine those mineral at like the max rate that we can, because we got people that have max skill in refining. So we will refine them locally. And now we're at a point where we're going to turn that into industrial capital and sell that to generate money. Do we make a lot of money producing? Well, I wouldn't say a lot. We make money. We don't produce at a loss. I would need to run the number the next time. The next time we're building a ship, I will run the exact number just to show you a little bit how much we're making. But I would say that like building a 1.5 bill freighter, we would probably running like a 10% profit or 10-15% profit on that. So all in all, it's still pretty good. Aside from that, a lot of corporations do make their money selling ore. And it's going to be especially true now that you have the new resource distribution update. So you're gonna have like ISEC is gonna be specialized in tritanium. Isogen and Noxium are going to be the low-sec ore, and where we're located, we're at an ideal spot because we got access to high and low. So we're basically going to be able to mine all those minerals. And you notice that pyrite is the red hair stepchild of the mineral because nobody has it in their distribution. And Zydrine, Megasite, and Morphite are going to be like the null-sec material. So what I do expect is that because even before, even when we were in Ivan and now too, I got offered to buy mineral regularly. Like people want, there is a lot of demand for compressed ore. So at I did in the past sometimes sell it, and I could have. Well, not only I've been offered like to be a regular supplier of ore for like, and some people would buy like 5 billion worth of ore a week. We don't produce that as a corp. Well, we mine it individually, but we don't acquire that amount of mineral as a corp. But I figured that this type of business where corp are going to specialize more in mining ISEC is going to be like more profitable. So anybody, running a mining corp is probably going to become something that you can make. I assume that you're going to be making more money in the future. Either that, or you're going to have organized null group that are going to come locally and and mine the stuff in I themselves. We'll see. Anyway, so that we have that ore buyback program, and normally starting this week we'll start building Orca. That mineral change. Aside from that, today Discord was like very active, and you could see the CEO that are more on the ball and more that have a better understanding of how industry work. They were already having their plan for that. So aside from people that went berserk and just went and buy everything, like if you just like look at compressed Velspar, poof, you get like it got like a little bump of 100 per compressed Velspar, so it's not that big an increase, but you can see that prices are pushing up. A lot of people are making stockpile. What corp are doing right now is basically negotiating. I like what the message I got is, do you want to be ore buddy? and that was an ALSEC group, and even without explaining, I can understand very well, because we're going to need Zydrine, Megasite, and Morphite, and they're going to need Tritanium, Isogen, and Noxium. So it's easy for a high-low group like us to partner with an ALSEC group, and you just arrange for like one jump freighter every X amount of time that will come and deliver for you Zydrine, Megasite, and Morphite, and they just grab compressed ore with Tritanium, Isogen, and Noxium, and you're gonna have industrial corporation that are going to do partnership like that. That's the way I see it. Like you're going to have like a supply chain that basically depend on both the high, low, and the null sec corp, or you're going to have one corp that does both. That's one way. That's one way I see that evolving in the future. So anyway, that's like my take on it with what I just read today. Okay, aside from that, the politics. Well, I told you, like we have a bunch of little network of blue people. We got a common channel now where we're talking with where anybody from Blue Corp can join. So we're kind of acting as a as a little hub for a local industrial corporation and local pirate gangs that are blue to us. Aside from that, we're starting to run our own little PvP operation. We used to, in guns, like organize roams and stuff. We never really got time to get the ball running on that. We did a few, but then we got into constant real war, so it wasn't a PvP event as much as PvP timers. So we're gonna starting this week. We're gonna try to run at least one weekly PvP event. So either gonna take our doctrine ship and go roam around Null or Camp Gate or whatever. So we'll see how it goes. So we're supposed to do our first one this week. What else? Oh yeah, this week we had some trouble with pirate forward operation base, and then I'm gonna show you something that I'm not super happy with. That's my channel. Not super happy with. These are pirates in both Pachne and then the neighboring system. Which was when was it? Was it Diedry? Both of these systems had the pirate forward operation base, and a few of our guys tried to, I don't know if they tried to go solo. I didn't get the whole story, but we lost a few ships to those pirates. One of our pilots got caught in a belt mining in Anorca because he didn't see that it was the strong pirate were in the area. So these are PvE loss. Happen part of the game. So we did have some loss there. Look like they're gone now, so we should be okay for a while. But aside from that, it was a pretty uneventful week. Aside from those pirates there. Do I have anything else to tell you? That's pretty much it. It was like, was it our second week in the area? We're more comfortable. We're starting to build some friends. We're starting to get our operation running. I mean, when you're moving a group that is like a significant size like ours, it takes a while for everybody to catch up, because you get people that are on break that will not log in for 2-3 days, and then they will eventually log in, and then it will take them some time to move all their stuff over. So I figure we're still gonna be like transiting between our old home and the new home for a week or two. Hopefully next week we will start running we will start building. The goal is to start building industrial capital, so we will start like we did before, like building Orca, building Obelisk, Charon, like basically any freighter or any industrial capital we have the capacity to build. And then we'll move on from there. We'll continue to build up our strength, try to get more combat pilot. With strength will come the ability to anchor more stations. So I mean, we just need to get the ball rolling in the right direction to keep on building, because the reality is, as much as, I mean, there's two options that you have. Either you build your own industrial capability, your own factory, and you're actually building, you're owning the structure, you're owning the space. And with that come the responsibility of fielding enough combat capability to be able to defend those structures. It's either that, or you use somebody else's structure, and that has been offered to me a lot of time. Would you come and build in our structure? I mean, I've been offered Wet Dream industrial setup. I've been offered like full maxed out Tetera for refining, Sotoyo with a null sec capital umbrella, low tax. I've been offered like all of that. I don't want to do that, and it is selfish, but it is what I want to do. I don't want, for me, using somebody else's setup is pressing the I win button, and I don't want to do that. And I don't like the actual production mechanic like myself being there, mining, coordinating, build job and everything. I like it enough that I enjoy it, but I'm not like, wow, I couldn't make that my only gameplay. I mean, for me, if I would be under a capital umbrella, mining safely in nullsec and building stuff with everything that is already, with all the structure that are already provided to me, and I'm not even talking about tax there, and I'm not even talking about renting. I mean, that could be like free setup with no tax in a corporation. I die of boredom, because for me, I wouldn't be building something. I would be building ship. I would be like an employee in a large corp that does everything. And for me, I want to take something, my fun is taking the thing from the ground up and building it. And I mean, at some point, somebody will probably shoot all my structure. I'll start again somewhere else, or eventually I might try some other stuff in the game, maybe try and go full hardcore PvP or whatever. But the thing is, I don't want to become somebody's renter. I don't want to be coordinating a build job for somebody else. I want to build my own corp, and that's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm enjoying. And it's not that the offer that I get are insulting or anything. It's just that personally what I like to do, because I've been getting some of the offer that I'm getting are like actually really, really interesting, and it would be like a crazy efficient setup compared to what we have now. We get like more refining, get like better bonus for production, or get everything. But again, what do you want to do in game? So that's the thing about a sandbox game like Eve, is what do you want to do in game? What do you enjoy doing? And I can understand that somebody that just want to like have the most efficient setup, and if you want to build a Titan, you can join a null group, just skill up and just build your Titan. But for me, I don't want to build a Titan. I want to click on the build button on a Titan on my structure, not somebody else's structure, my structure. so I want to build that Titan one day in my own little station. And for that, well, there's some prerequisite, and one of the prerequisite is having my own little army to defend my station. So that's where the game is taking me, and that's the fun I'm having now. So anyway, that's it for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you do, leave a comment below. If you don't, leave a comment below also. I did get a suggestion to do a recap video. I didn't have the time this week, because when I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go try and edit it a little bit and make it nice. Most of these videos here that I do, I just like speak and do it and post it raw. I don't spend a lot of time editing. It's just a question of time. It's a question of, I'm doing this more as a vlog than I would be like building a tutorial video. The few video that I did edit, it just had a few hours time to actually get the editing software out, and maybe it's because just I'm not good at it. But anyway, it takes more time, and I don't have enough time that I can dedicate to the game already. So I rather spend my time playing the game and just doing this as a vlog format than going some major editing. But occasionally I'll try to do a nice one. So I didn't have time this week. Maybe next week, or anyway, at some point I'm gonna do like a recap video, like the progress so far, the phases that I've been through, like starting to build locally in Ursalouette, starting to run incursion, creating Guns R Us, recruiting people, and then fighting for our life, then joining an alliance, then the Becky part now that we're in. So it's a little bit of a bunch of chapter in the life of my character. So I'm gonna do that one point sometime in the future. So have fun, guys, and see you next week. Bye bye.